And yeah, so that was my adventure. I got to live with my future husband for like 4 days straight. Hi guys, Shira here. Let's start at the beginning, which is about snow and Israel. When you hear about snow falling in Israel, you hear about when 10 millimeters falls, the whole country freaks out and shuts down, schools cancelled, bakeries don't bake bread, no public transportation, supermarkets don't get deliveries of fresh produce. I can say that's true, that the country is not equipped to deal with snow. This year was the third consecutive year of snow falling. 2 years ago I was in Eilat, so I missed it. Last year I made a vlog about it, so if you want to watch the vlog you can click on my computer screen and it'll take you right there. This year I would actually go as far as to equate the snowfall with that which falls in Canada. So starting from the day of Hananel and my engagement party, which was last Thursday, it did not stop raining for an entire week. I'm not exaggerating. It just kept raining and raining and raining with maybe a gap maximum of like 2 hours with no rain, and then it would just start again. I was planning on spending Shabbos at my future in-laws. Now that we're engaged and Hananel's family is the family that actually lives in Israel, we figured it was about time that we really start getting to know each other better, and which I really definitely hope that we did after I basically lived with them for 4 days. So with all this rainfall, they had been warning that there's a very big likelihood that it would snow. But being Canadian, I didn't really expect much more snow than it was last year. Last year it snowed and there was quite a significant amount, but then by the next day it was all melted because it got hot again. So Wednesday night I had gone out with Hananel in torrential downpour, windy, pouring rain. Trees had already started falling down. Like, I've never been outside in such strong rain before. And really, I would never go out in such strong rain for anybody. I wake up Thursday morning, look out my window, everything's covered in white. Like, it's always beautiful to see snow, right? That evening, I was supposed to have a shift for my internship. I don't get paid for that shift. If I miss the shift, I just lose out on a shift out of my 36 that I need to complete in order to get my degree. But it's not like I don't show up and then people die. Don't worry. Because of the snow, I just kept seeing notifications online about buses being cancelled or being rerouted, buses out of the city being cancelled because of snowfall, the slippery roads. I was ready to go to the shift anyway. 2 o'clock, my bag packed, ready to leave, and I get a phone call from my supervisor who tells me that she really does not want us to come in because who knows if the snow's going to continue and we might get stuck at the hospital. So I'm like, sure, no problem, I don't mind not coming in, not a big deal. But yeah, around this point, buses out of Jerusalem were starting to run again. So Hananel and I were debating back and forth whether we should attempt to leave Jerusalem right then and there, or to wait until Friday morning. But we all hate traveling on Friday morning, so we decided, you know what, let's just go now. So we get on a bus at around 4:30 at the central bus station, make it to his house at about 5:30, and then we find out at about 6:30 all the buses within Jerusalem and going out of it and coming back into it were cancelled. We were really lucky. We had made it into that like 4-hour gap when they had buses, which is very important to know because no buses left Jerusalem or went into Jerusalem for another couple of days. Throughout this whole experience, it was still snowing in Jerusalem and still raining everywhere else. It snowed so strongly overnight in Jerusalem that there was no bus service for the entire day on Friday. In Israel, there is no public transportation on Saturdays, and public transportation stops about a couple of hours before Shabbos. So when there's no public transportation on a Friday, that causes a lot of problems. So anybody who was in Jerusalem, starting from Thursday afternoon, was basically stuck in Jerusalem. People who wanted to get to Jerusalem were not able to. It continued snowing so badly that there were neighborhoods that were stuck without heat and electricity and even running water. For some people, it didn't even come back until Monday. I have a friend who lives in Jerusalem who works at Shari Tzedek, and she ended up working double shift plus because people couldn't come in to Jerusalem to replace the shifts. But for her, she didn't mind being in the hospital so much because in her house there was no electricity and in the hospital there was. It was like a war zone. Meanwhile, my fiance's house, still pouring rain. Yes, we had hot water, yes, we had electricity, but just before Shabbos, the heating stops working. But you know what? As everybody kept saying about that experience for all the people who didn't have heat, it may have been cold in the house, but at least we were warm in the heart. Rained all Saturday. Yeah, I think on the afternoon it stopped raining. sky started clearing up. After Shabbos, we found out that the major highways were closed. Of course, there was no transportation. The streets were covered in 50 plus centimeters of snow. People who had been driving on the highway on Friday were rescued from their cars and left their cars over Shabbos, and then because it was snowing over Shabbos, their cars were stuck on the highway. They were sending helicopters to go remove the car so they could plow and reopen the highway. Meanwhile, I was supposed to have an exam Sunday morning. So I had been studying all Thursday, all Friday, all Saturday, just in preparation for this really hard exam that I was supposed to be taking. After hearing this news about what had happened in Jerusalem over Friday and Saturday, I just wasn't sure if my school would have class. And knowing my school, even if classes were cancelled, we'd still have to take our exam. Finally, at about 8 p.m, I get a notification from my school that the test is cancelled. And you don't even understand how lost I felt, because I'm like, I studied so hard. Like, I didn't help prepare for Shabbos and I didn't help clean up afterwards because I was so intensely studying for this test. Yeah, that's the mature student's reaction to a snow day. So of course, because the highways were packed with snow and abandoned cars, no way to get in Jerusalem, so we decided to stay the night. So yeah, so basically, Chanel and I were living together at this point. He was sleeping at his friend's, so don't worry. Yeah, Sunday morning. The whole day we were just waiting to hear about updates on public transportation. In the afternoon, they started opening some bus lines within Jerusalem and a few bus lines out. And so we figured, okay, after dinner, we'll go back to Jerusalem because I have a shift for my internship on Monday morning. But then as the sun sets, we hear the announcement that all buses within the city and leaving it and going into it were cancelled because the temperature had gone down and everything froze again. So yeah, another night at my future in-laws' house. So Monday morning, we'd had enough of this waiting and not knowing what's going on. We decided we'll just catch a ride to Jerusalem and just once we get to Jerusalem, hope that buses are running within the city. So I got a ride with somebody back to Jerusalem. A ride that would usually take about 25 minutes under normal conditions took us almost 2 hours, but I made it home. But it was very interesting just driving towards Jerusalem, and as you're driving closer and closer, you see more and more and more snow, and like, I'd never seen this amount of snow here. I'm used to seeing this kind of snow in Toronto because that's where I grew up. But here, they don't have the concept of salt here to melt the ice. So you have to be very careful when you're walking, not to slip. Roads that are usually packed with buses were like abandoned because buses weren't running. But meanwhile, the sky was blue, the sun was shining. It was nice to be able to see the sky again because it had been raining for like a week straight. And yeah, so that was my adventure. I got to live with my future husband for like 4 days straight. And then I realized that, yeah, we're getting married in 5 months, and that's a really, really long time. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed hearing this story. I'm sorry that I didn't take the camera along for this whole adventure. I just didn't think that this would happen. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Click on my computer screen to watch from last year where I actually filmed all the snow in Jerusalem. And I will talk to you later. Bye! Thanks again for watching! You can click here to watch my previous vlog, probably one of my best, so you might not want to miss out. Click on the squares below to either watch all my vlogs, check out my channel page, or subscribe to my channel to be the first to find out when I upload something new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.